Hey guys, welcome back. So this video we're going to actually dive into the sections which make up a custom landing page. So in the last video we actually added this new custom landing page called Ergonomic Pillow to our site. So as you can see now we have 4 different custom landing pages. We have CLP1, CLP2, CLP3, and then the 4th one is this Ergonomic Pillow page here which we just added in the last video. So if we look on the left side here, we can see all of the sections which make up a custom landing page. First thing you can notice is these are all static sections. None of these sections are dynamic. And as you recall, that means that we can't actually pick up and drag any of these sections. We also can't delete any of these sections directly. We also can't add any more sections here. Like there's no drop down at the bottom here to add any more sections here. So you may be wondering, how do we create custom pages with these static sections? And the big thing that allows us to do that are these 2 sections here. So they're called dynamic sections content. And they have this little star in front of them. And you can see one here and one here. So if we click into one of these dynamic sections content, we can see it's a bit different. There's no settings here, but all we have is this block content. And if we click on this block content, we actually get a drop down, which is to add additional sections. So this might look a little familiar now. This almost looks like a homepage builder, but it somehow lives inside a static section. And it looks like that, and that's exactly basically what it is. So that's how we're able to build custom landing pages with the Power theme. So let's just start playing with this. Let's add a few of these sections. And these are actually all the sections that we went through in the previous video. So you guys probably saw all these sections by now, or if you haven't seen any of these, you can go back to the previous section and watch a video specific to any one of these sections. So let's just dive in and we'll start by adding a section heading. So you can see when we add that, we get a section heading show up here. And just to show you that that is the heading that we just added, let's just modify this text a little bit. Here we go. And you can see that we have all of the same settings that we did on the home page when we added a dynamic section. So these aren't like partial sections that we're adding. These are fully custom sections that we have full control over. So you can see we can control the size on desktop, size on mobile. Basically every setting that we had access to on the home page, we have access to here for this section. Change the background color. So that's pretty cool. So let's go back. Now you can see we have one block added here to this dynamic sections content section. And that's kind of the terminology we use, by the way. So this is a static section. And then inside this static section called dynamic sections content, we add blocks. But each of these blocks is itself a section. So that's where it might get a little confusing, the terminology. But basically, these are blocks, and then each block is a section. So that's kind of the terminology that we use for this. So let's just add a couple more. So we just added the section heading. Let's add a row of images. 3 images, sure. Let's add some images here. And let's go back into the settings and let's just make a small change. So let's make the section a little less wide. Make it that wide. And that's good. Next, let's add maybe a plain body text element. You can see it show up here. And I don't really like the padding between this and this images. So let's just add a little bit of top padding here. Here you go, space it out a little bit. Next, let's add a YouTube video. Let's change the background color around this YouTube video to a dark color. And maybe add a border around that YouTube video as well. And again, I don't really like the space between this YouTube video section and this plain body text section. So let's go back into this plain body text. And we're just going to add some bottom padding to that plain body text section there. There we go. You can see we add space there. So you can see how customizable this is, right? We can pick up and drag these sections if we want. If we no longer want that YouTube video, we can remove that YouTube video right here with one click. So it's essentially a full homepage builder that we have here inserted on this custom landing page. And we can add as many as we want here. So if we just hop into one of these pre-built custom landing pages, for example, we can see that for this custom page here, you can see we also have animations added to these sections. But all of these sections here that we're looking at, from here all the way up to here, these are all contained within this static sections block. So if we look inside, you can see how many sections there are within this block. And there is no limit. You could keep going. You could create very long pages like this, fully customized. So let's go back to the ergonomic pillow landing page. So that's the first block here. And we also have another one down here. So you notice that these are the sections that we added within this first block. We can also do the exact same thing down here in the second block. So if we just add a heading here, as well as maybe a row of testimonials, and let's add maybe a newsletter sign up here. So you can see all these are now under the second dynamic sections content, and these are towards the bottom of the page. And you'll notice that there's something living between these sections that we created. So this section heading is this guy. And then if we back out and go up to the higher dynamic sections content that we worked on first, you can see the last element is this one. So we have this bundles section lying between these two. So where is that coming from? So let's go back here, and now we can see that these bundles sections that are living between this dynamic sections content and this one are right here. So by default on the power theme, for every new custom landing page, there's a few of these sections that are not unhidden, and it includes these three bundle cards, this bundles heading, and if we scroll down to the bottom, these three bundle cards and this bundles heading. And the rest of the static sections that we see here, like the FAQ, for example, here and here, and the value offer here, these are hidden by default for all new custom landing pages. So let's just scroll back up to the top for a second. And let's start going through some of these other sections that we haven't really talked about yet. So the countdown banner, product carousel with text, value offer. Let's start with the product carousel with text actually. So let's scroll up to the top of our page and we'll click into this product carousel with text. So you can see by default, this one is hidden. So every static section on the custom landing page is going to have this option. And this is an option that's not shown on anywhere on the homepage sections because we don't really need it on the homepage. But for these static sections, we do need it because, as you recall, we can't directly delete any of these sections if we don't want them on the page. So to get around that, we basically added a checkbox for displaying or not displaying the section, which for all intents and purposes is the exact same thing as adding a delete button to the section. But instead of deleting it fully, it's still showing here, it's just not showing on our page. So let's click back into the product carousel and we'll click the checkbox to display this section. And as soon as we do, we can see that we get this message asking us to select a product for this section. The exact same message that we got on the home page for this identical section there. So let's select our thermos product. And as soon as we do, we can see that the full section populates up here. So you might be asking yourself, why did we do this? Like, why is this section living outside of the dynamic section content? Like, why not just delete this static section altogether and add it within here, within an option in this dropdown? And obviously that would have been an ideal solution, but there was a couple sections where we could not do that. And it just comes down to basically like a limitation of this sort of setup. So any section that we add within here, if we just click into one of these sections, we can add another layer of block selections here. So let me show you what I mean. If we go back into this product carousel section, which we just added, you'll notice on the top here, we have a block content adder here. And in this case, it's asking us to add bullet points for this section because we don't really know how many bullet points you guys are going to want to use for this carousel. It might be 1 bullet point, it might be 5, it might be 20. And we want to leave that flexible for you to choose. So that's why we have this up here, because you can add as many bullet points as you want. However, this flexibility that we have here to add additional blocks under our section, we could not add that flexibility here for a section added this way. And it comes down to a technical reason within Shopify where you can't have blocks within blocks. So technically within the Shopify world, this is a static section. These are blocks within a static section. And then if we're going to add additional blocks here, that wouldn't be possible because it would be a block within a section. If that made any sense, hopefully made a little bit of sense, but it's not really important to fully get the reason. It's kind of like a technical, strange Shopify reason why we can't do that. But I guess just important to understand the way we got around that, and the way that we can add blocks to sections like this is to have them living outside the dynamic section. So that's exactly what all these sections are here for. So if we click into this section, we can see we can add bullet points here. If we click into this value offer section, this is another example where we have block content within the value offer section. So let's just display this section. You can see it show up here now. And let's select an image. And then, as you guys recall, when we looked at this section in more detail, this is where you add value offer bullet points here. So that's what this section is for. And now you can see we have, from top to bottom on our page, we have the product carousel with text, and then we have this value offer block. But if you don't want to include this value offer block, you certainly don't need to. It's one button click and you can delete it essentially from your page. And same goes for the product carousel. One click and it's gone. So that's why we have this these sections. So let's just go down through the rest of them quickly. Outside this dynamic sections content, we have the FAQ. So we have both styles of FAQs here. The sort of typical style, which don't forget to click display. I just forgot to click to display the section. That's why it didn't show up right away. So you have to click to display it because it is hidden by default. So once we click display, this is the FAQ section we just added here. We can add another one there quickly. This is the FAQ accordion. So click display section and then add as many FAQ accordion questions as you'd like here. Then we have the bundles heading. So this is actually unhidden by default. So if we go in here, we can change the bundles text here Next up, we have the first level of bundle cards. So bundle card 1, 2, and 3. So you can see it's asking us to select a product before it'll be displayed. So we'll select our thermos there, and we can see our first bundle card shows up for us. And you can also select the product for number bundle card 2 and bundle card 3. You can see we have our bundle cards added now to our page. And this is the second dynamic sections content block below these bundle cards. So this is where the second lot of custom page content will appear. Then below that, you can see we have another value offer section, which you can choose to display or not here. Below that, we then have another FAQ section, which again, you can choose to display or not display here. Followed by the Accordion version of the FAQ. Followed by another bundles header, followed by 3 more bundle card options. So let's just go ahead and select a product for this one again. And these bundle cards can be completely different than these 3 bundle cards if you wish. So you can have totally different offers on your bottom 3 bundle cards as opposed to your top 3. And then the last section that you have here to choose from on the bottom is a Luke's review section. So we kind of laid this out basically with maximum flexibility for designing pages. So we made the assumption here, obviously, that if you were going to add a Luke's reviews section, it would most likely go to the bottom of your page. So if we choose to display that section and then choose a product that we want to display the reviews for, then we can see the reviews show up on the bottom of our page for this selected product. And you also notice that we have A and B's laid out here. So for this value offer, we have A, FAQ A, bundles heading A, bundle card A1, A2, A3. So we did this because, again, we want to offer sort of maximum flexibility for you guys to build pages. And we just wanted to sort of lay out these static sections in a way that you could basically create any sort of page that you wanted. So that's why we doubled up on a lot of this stuff, because in a lot of cases, and let's just go back to custom landing page 1 as a good example. We can see on custom landing page 1 that we start off the page with this section, which is displayed. Then next up, we dive into our dynamic sections content section here, which includes everything from right here all the way down to here, which is before the first bundle section. Then we have our first bundle section here, which is this bundle header followed, actually this bundle header is hidden in this case. This is actually a section that we added within this dynamic sections content block. This is a section break with text inside it. But these 3 bundle cards are the A bundle cards, so bundle card 1, 2, and 3 right here. Then next up, we start with this dynamic sections content block. So from here down to here, so the testimonials, about us, and FAQ header, these are all included within the dynamic sections content block. And then this FAQ accordion, which, as you recall, the FAQs can't be part of this because we need the ability to add additional questions as we want. So this FAQ accordion is this static section here. Sorry, it is, I had to scroll down, I was in the wrong spot. So it is the B FAQ accordion, so it is here. So you can see if I turn off this display, this section, that FAQ will disappear. And now it appears back. And you can see, again, we can add more FAQs with one button click here. Let's just go ahead and delete that. And then after the B FAQ section, which is here, then we dive into the B bundles heading, which is here, and the B bundle cards, which are here. And then finally we have the Luke's reviews section, which is here. So that's how we created this custom landing page 1. And you can see we can just have so much flexibility, right? With this layout, we can have 2 separate sets of bundle cards. We can add as much content as we want between bundle cards. We can totally hide one of the sets of bundle cards if we want to, simply by clicking in and hiding all of the 3 bundle cards. So this sort of layout, it's might take a little bit to get used to perhaps, but it is super powerful, and it basically allows you to build any sort of layout that you'd like for your page. So that just about does it for the custom landing pages. I guess the only one we didn't really look at is this very top one, the countdown banner. And you might be curious why the countdown banner is included, because unlike all these other sections which are included out here that include block content within them, if we click into the countdown banner, you can notice that there's actually no block content out here. So you might be asking yourself, why did we include this outside of the dynamic sections content blocks? And actually, if you go into one of these dynamic sections content blocks, go to add content and go to the J blocks, you can actually see the countdown banner is an available block within here. So if we just click to add that, we can actually see it shows up here for us within this dynamic sections block. So you can add those anywhere throughout your page. So that brings up the question, why did we create it up here specifically? And the reason we did that was we recognize that in some cases you might want to have this at the very top of your page. And in the rare situation where you use this section here, which is defined by this block here, where you have this unhidden like we have on this page, the only way to add that to the very top of your page would be to have it as a static section above it. So that's the reason why. I would say most of the time you guys aren't going to use this, but in case you did want to have a countdown banner at the very top of your page and you were using this block, that's why it's there. So that's the rationale behind that. So that just about does it. That's all the sections on the custom landing page. And what else? I guess the last thing before we end the video is I just want to show you the heading. So you do have the option to actually turn off the header as well on custom landing pages. And the way you do that is if you go back out and go to the general theme settings here, then you can actually click into the custom landing page headers section, and you can turn off the header for any of the custom landing pages on your store. So in this case, we're on CLP1, so we'll just turn the header off for CLP1. And now you can see that we no longer have a header for this landing page. And you might want to do that just to sort of give your customers who land on this page basically like less buttons to click, right? In case you just want to, maybe the only button you want clickable on your landing page could be like the buy now button, for example. So in those cases, you might want to try removing the headers, which is like a common sales page sort of tactic people use. And that is about it for the custom landing pages. So if you guys have any questions at all about anything here, definitely shoot our customer service team an email and we'll get back to you right away. I think it's one of those things that you guys just need to dive in and sort of play around with, because it is a little bit complicated and definitely something that you haven't really seen on Shopify before. But once you guys sort of understand the process here, and it's pretty easy once you understand what's going on, I think you guys will find this super useful and just a great way to build these custom landing pages for your store. So I hope you guys really like this video, and I hope you guys enjoy building pages with this new sort of builder interface, and let us know how it goes for you. If you have any questions, obviously let us know, and any feedback, or just if you want to say let us know like your results or how it's working for you. We'd love to hear from you as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.